Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a Cezanne keratin treatment on my client. Now this was actually our first appointment together. I've done a keratin treatment on her hair at least one other time since this recording, but we've both noticed such a huge improvement in her hair's porosity and the texture of it since getting keratin treatments, and I just want to share it with you today. Now taking a look at her before video, you can see that her hair is more wavy than it is curly, but either way it's not very well defined because of so much frizz. You can barely see what her texture is doing, and this is her hair sopping wet. This is what ultimately brought her in for her keratin treatment because she wanted to smooth her hair out for more well-defined texture and to get rid of all that frizz. So as always, I'm going to go in with the Cezanne keratin treatment because it uses natural plant-based ingredients that I know is going to nourish, moisturize, and strengthen my client's hair. Now, as I apply the keratin treatment to my client's hair, I just want to touch base on what exactly is hair porosity. Now, if it's your first time hearing it, it is very important because it is your hair's ability to absorb and retain water, which is so important for curly hair because our hair thrives off of water. Now, hair porosity is categorized into low, normal, and high porosity hair, and it's so important to understand the characteristics of all those because with each porosity comes a unique set of hair care needs that you need to address. So in case you don't know what your hair porosity is, I'm just going to run through it real quick so you can see where you identify. So when you have low porosity hair, that means your hair cuticle layer is tightly packed together, making it so difficult for moisture to penetrate into your hair. Water tends to bead up on the surface rather than being absorbed into the hair, and your hair may take forever to get fully wet and saturated when you're trying to wash your hair. Products can also sit on the hair rather than be absorbed, leading to a ton of buildup. Now I want to go to the next extreme, which is high porosity hair. It is the complete opposite of low porosity hair, meaning that that cuticle layer is laying wide open. There's holes and there's gaps, meaning that water can come in easily, but it can leave just as easily. Your hair may feel rough or dry to the touch, and high porosity hair is actually prone to frizz, tangles, and breakage. Now my client today, she has high porosity hair, which is why you saw all that frizz, and she was dealing with a bunch of tangles. And that's because those cuticle layers are wide open, that the hair is just rubbing against itself and getting dry, rough, and just so unmanageable. High porosity hair is usually due to external factors. In her case, she was rough handling her hair, a little too heavy handed, that she actually would damage her cuticles as she was doing her hair. And because she has fine hair, it was even more prone to damage. So overall, after time, her hair, her cuticles started to open up to high porosity. And last but not least is normal porosity hair. Now this is when the cuticle layer is neither too tightly packed nor too open. Hair can absorb and retain moisture relatively well. Products are absorbed evenly and effectively, and hair tends to hold styles and has good elasticity. Now this is something we all strive for. Alright y'all, so before I go any further, I just want to show y'all my client's hair after processing and rinsing. I want to throw in that before video again so we can compare just the huge difference that the keratin treatment made. And you can see that her curls are well defined now. It's virtually frizz free, and just imagine how much easier it is for her to manage and style her hair now that she's not dealing with so much frizz and tangles. Okay, so as I dive into the blow dry, I just want to talk about what a keratin treatment actually is. Keratin is a natural protein found in our hair, and it is so important because it doesn't only help fight against frizz and tangles, but it strengthens our hair and the structure of our hair. Over time, our hair naturally loses keratin protein due to environmental stressors or even through daily wear and tear. So, a keratin treatment is so important because it puts keratin back into our hair to strengthen it and to fill in those gaps so that we have stronger hair over time. Now, where a keratin treatment benefits our hair porosity is because it is a smoothing treatment. That means it is going to smooth out those cuticles and make it easier for our hair to not only absorb but retain moisture. If you have low porosity hair, this is very important because most protein treatments are way too heavy and big in molecule structure to actually penetrate into your hair, and it just sits on top, which is why protein treatments aren't good for a majority of low porosity hair, which is why I love the keratin treatment because the molecules are small enough. It is meant to penetrate into your hair so that you can better absorb and retain moisture. As well as for high porosity hair, it fills in those gaps so that it closes your cuticle and smooths it out and strengthens your hair so that it can actually retain water. Okay, so as I finish up my client's hair by flat iron the treatment to seal it in, I want to talk about what is the maintenance for a keratin treatment. Now, some people think you can just get a keratin treatment and forget about your hair, you're good to go, but that is not the case. When it comes to a keratin treatment, you want to make sure that you are maintaining your hair care regimen so that you can see results in the long run. I recommend washing and deep conditioning your hair weekly with keratin safe products. Now, this is important because keratin will actually wash out of your hair after about 3 to 6 months, depending on the formula. So in order to maintain the results of your keratin treatment, you want to make sure you're opting for keratin safe products so that it can prolong the effects of the treatment. Now, at this point, I've done keratin treatments on both low and high porosity hair, and in our experience, you don't have to go in with protein afterwards. The keratin treatment is enough to get you through 3 months at least. So all you have to do is maintain your moisture and maintain that weekly regimen. Now, if you have keratin treated curly hair or color treated hair and you want to make sure that you have quality products, I do have my Timelessly Curly hair care line, which is formulated for curls that have been keratin treated or color treated to prolong your results and keep your curly hair healthy. I have that linked below. Now, I promise you, if you stay consistent with your regimen and your washing and deep conditioning and just doing low manipulation styles, your hair will grow. I've seen it across many of my keratin treated clients because it just makes your hair so strong and manageable that their hair is growing like weeds and they're actually retaining length. Alright y'all, so here are my client's results after her first keratin treatment. Look how healthy, how strong, how shiny her hair looks, and this is after only one keratin treatment. Now, I've told you I've already done another keratin treatment on her hair after this, and she said it's been a complete 180. Her hair is so healthy now, it's so manageable because she's not dealing with a ton of frizz and tangles anymore. The treatment has definitely leveled out her porosity, so her hair is so much easier to manage. Alright y'all, it's been real. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!